Garden Mother. I am here at the TPIE 2020 show. It's the Tropical Plant International Expo. So everybody who grows tropical plants are here, as well as some really cool ornamental plants, interior design, floral design, all of that great stuff. I've already done a little bit of peeking just to kind of get an idea of what I could share with you guys today while I was here. There's some beautiful new perennials that are coming out, flowers, lots of stuff for butterflies, cool interior plants that you probably won't find a lot of places. Costa is here farm, so those are the people you're going to find at like Lowe's and Home Depot, all of those really neat new interior plants. The fiddle leaf figs that everyone's like super excited about, tons of those. So my goal for today is to kind of share with you what's coming out and show you some stuff that you probably haven't seen. A lot of these growers import all the way to the Caribbean, so it's really neat to see the different varieties. So I hope I can share with you some cool stuff that you've never seen before and some new stuff that's coming out too. So come with me. We're gonna go for a walk around TPIE and see what we can find. Come on, let's go. Okay guys, so I just found this really cool tree. It's amazing how they can bring these trees into a convention center, but it's called an Ashkota tree. It's an Indian native, so I'm going to kind of back up a little bit so you can see it. It's got really cool leaves and foliage. It kind of droops down. Amazing, right? Super cool. And so I'm going to go in a little bit on the foliage. It is a native to India, so I imagine if you wanted to grow this, you would need to be in super South Florida. However, a lot of those varieties that won't grow in your area could possibly also grow indoors. So just because it may not quite be zoned for where you're at, if you plant it in a protected area, it could work. This is another really cool palm, and look at the fans on that. Again, you know, if it's not zoned for where you live, these are all things that you can look for to grow indoors. Here's a smaller one, and that's the Talipot palm. And the Talipots are super popular right now, especially for interior. But again, you know, South Florida, hello, totally do that. I love these palms. They're very underused. It's a Spindle Palm. I'm gonna back up without trying to run everybody over. But the really cool thing about these palms is the color of the trunks. It's almost like this beautiful, like pinkish green, really exotic looking. Central Florida areas, you could totally plant it in a protected area, you know, under an eave or something like that. Once it's established, you very rarely, you know, would have to worry about serious damage, but you can find a spindle palm even to grow indoors or even on your back lanai. It's a great choice. Beautiful thing. Love it. So I just found some really beautiful plants I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to just kind of zoom in and talk a little bit. That one is a clematis. Look at the spiral shape on the flowers. Isn't that beautiful? And then this purple one down here, that one is a type of stardust. Sometimes you can find those at Lowe's or Home Depot. Much smaller. In warmer environments, you can see how the leaves kind of like green up a little bit, but for the majority of the time, they're usually kind of purple. And then, of course, there's the red passion vine, and that's a really cool passion vine because it grows both in the shade and in the sun. It does not feed the butterflies though, so if you're looking for something very ornamental, that red passion vine is a really great choice. And then the other one, which is awesome, super hard to find as well, is this chalice vine. That's that white tube flower in front of you. It is related to the angel trumpet family, so it can be a little bit toxic, but again, you know, as long as you're not out there eating the leaves and your dog doesn't eat the entire plant, if it's large, you should be okay. And then the last one I want to show you really quick is this is a clerodendron light bulb. I'm going to get as close as I can to the flowers, and then I'm just going to kind of step back. It's a beautiful plant. Holy gosh. It's like one of those showstoppers. Super beautiful. Really neat things. So here is a really beautiful species. It's called Farfugium gigantea. A lot of people also call it a giant leopard plant or a tractor seat, and you can kind of tell why it's called a tractor seat because of the way the leaves are shaped. Now, what's cool about this plant is that it prefers shade, not sun. You plant it in the sun, it will melt. Those leaves will just droop down like little droopy ears. And then twice a year it has these beautiful daisy flowers, which are like so unusual for a plant like this to flower. So like giant lily pads and then these beautiful daisy flowers, and it grows in the shade. So really unique. Gets to be about 3 feet tall by 3 feet wide, so it can be like a specimen planting. So you could, like, if you had kind of one of those areas that was kind of shady and dappled and you just needed something to like set it off, Farfugium would be a really great choice. And I've seen these recently at Walmart as well. So keep your eye out for those because they're a really, really great species and something to definitely look out for, especially if you have that one spot where you just need something super special. And you could use it in mass plantings as well. Super great. So here's where plant growing is headed. It's becoming more of a showstopper, so you're finding that people are actually incorporating them into decoration. So this vendor is Penang Nursery Productions, and they basically have created this beautiful butterfly out of succulents, and it's quite beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
Quite beautiful. And then if you look, like these whole living wall things are coming like super popular. I've got a project coming up where we're going to be building a living wall. So it's really neat to think about what you can actually do with plants in a different way. You know, it's not just in the ground. Let's put them on walls. Why not? Walls are fun. Okay, everybody. So here is the rose that you will want to find. It is called a Brenda Bella. They are highly disease resistant, heat tolerant, ever blooming, and guess what? The best part is that they smell. So you can tell that it looks more like an old-fashioned or antique rose just by the growth pattern of it. But it has the same disease tolerance as like your knockout rose or your drift rose, but they smell, which makes them even better. They are currently available in nurseries. I imagine you would not find these at Lowe's or Home Depot. You're going to find these at like the little tiny out-of-the-way nurseries that order from the specialty growers. So look for and ask for Brenda Bella roses, and you won't regret it. They're absolutely gorgeous. I love the leaf patterns too, and how tidy they look and compact. Super, super beautiful.
Out of here today, flying back.
Okay, so the next variety that it's been out for a couple years, since 2018, I would say, like 2 years or so, is the Sun Rosa, and this has more of a growth pattern similar to the drift rose. So it's going to stay lower to the ground and be more of a spreading growth habit. That's the Yellow Delight, and oh, I mean the color, it's like this beautiful orangey yellow. It's amazing. And then of course the Sun Rosa Red. You can see that deep foliage on there. And then this is the Orange Delight, which I don't know if you can tell the color or not, but really, really beautiful, like deep, deep orange. And then we're just gonna all the way over there. And there's another one of those Orange Delights. Again, I mean, super beautiful and vibrant and ever blooming. Great variety for you to try out. And again, this is probably a variety that you're not going to find at Lowe's or Home Depot. If you do, I mean, cool. This is going to be stuff you find at the smaller nurseries. And you can actually ask those smaller nurseries to find these roses for you. They are available. So, Sun Rosa, one of those drift kind of lower growing ground cover roses. All right, so these are also like fairly new, but amazingly like super bloomers. So if you're looking for something to add for color and along borders. These are these dwarf, beautiful little vincas. This one's called Blueberry Kiss. It's kind of a lavender color. And then we're going to pan over here just a little bit. I'm going to show you the newest variety. This one's called Coral Reef. And that's a really beautiful kind of pink, true pink color. And again, this is another variety that you're going to see at those smaller garden centers, and they can order them. I mean, there's growers right now in Central Florida that are growing these. Definitely ask for them. They're an overperformer. So again, that is Soiree Kauai, and these are those dwarf vincas. So this is where you're seeing a lot of these wall systems kind of integrate. So I'm going to back up a little bit so you can see the whole thing. And those are photos that are growing, and basically each one has its own pot. It's got a built-in watering system, which you can see those little pipes that kind of go down and drain. So you can actually have like that living wall. And these are so popular. It started, really truthfully out in California, but is making its way over this way as well. So it's a whole system, and they also have really small, like little picture frames. So I'm gonna jog over there if I can to show you. There's so many people in this booth because it's so popular. And so here's the other thing I was telling you about. So this is like the little tiny picture frame, and see each one of those has its own little pot, and this is one solid piece. Okay. So that's a super cool way, again, to integrate plants, and these are all indoor plants. So that's another thought, to think about how things are coming together for indoors. Cool stuff. All right, so here are the new perennials that are coming out that I told you guys about earlier. And again, I'm going to try and get close so you guys can see like how awesome these little flowers are. It's like a triple petunia almost, with like a black center and a yellow outlay. It's called Petunia Midnight Gold. And these are all by Ball Flora plants. So all of these are grown from seed and or the little cuttings. The Calibrachoa Goodnight Kiss, that was out last year. It's really beautiful. It's got that beautiful yellow center there. Super beautiful. And then the other ones that were super great last year that also came out was this new variety of Lantana. Look at that thing. And that's the Lantana Bloomify Orange. And then also the other one that came out was the Lantana Lucky Peach. So the varieties are lucky. So of course it's Lantana, but the variety you're looking for is anything with the word lucky. So it could be Lantana Lucky Peach, it could be Lantana Lucky Red, Orange, Silver shades, or like with the Bloomify, it's the mango. So Lantana, Bloomify, and Lucky are really cool varieties. All right, and here's another really cool Calibrachoa that also was available last year, and probably you could find it in some of those smaller nursery centers, is Calibrachoa Mini Famous Neo Double Orange-tastic. I mean, what a name. But just super beautiful. I mean, covered with flowers. And then one last one I want to show you before we leave here. Oh, they do have those really cool salvias. Just kidding, I'm going to show you one more thing. Here's the Petunia Headliner Dark Saturn. Super kind of beautiful, right? So guys, this is the tail end of my visit here at the TPIE 2020 convention here in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Thanks so much for coming around, hanging out with me for a little bit. I hope that I've been able to show you some things that you've never seen before, and I hope that you go out and you actually look for some different varieties that you haven't seen. Go to those smaller nurseries, ask for the new varieties. They'll get them. They will. They're growing them right now. And if you ever have questions or want to find something that you can't find, you can always send me an email, amber@thegardenmother.com, and of course on Instagram, look for me. We post things there all the time. So I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Thanks again for joining me, and go out and get dirty, okay? I'm going to. Bye.